we'll start some results. Firstly, on behalf of the Scottish Club, welcome to all our friends from across the other clubs in Wellington. It's a great way to sort of end the winter season of us all getting together, enjoying a bit of a gentle run around the peninsula, and then of course the traditional Harry afternoon tea. I'd sort of just like to start with a quick thanks. Thanks to Ian over there, who's our race director today. Pointsmen and pointswoman, and the two Johns who did the timing. They all make the event happen. As you know, this event today is the Bernie Portenski Memorial, and I'm just going to hand over to Michelle, Bernie's sister, just to say a few words.
Thanks, Glenn. Hey, look, it's really great to see so many people here. It's a great event, and it's a nice run for Bernie's Memorial. It's probably a little bit strange because one of the things Bernie really hated was cross country, and the second thing she really hated was hills. But we used to come to this race and we used to charge around at probably about 36 minutes in the day. So and we always used to compare it and say, well, whatever you could do on this race is what, because it's shorter than 10k, is probably what you could do in a 10k road race. So take that home and think next time you turn up at a 10k road race, you should be running probably what you did here. But yeah, and she would be living up the Kapiti Coast, so it was easy for her to come down here and turn up at this race. I was a little bit gutted when this race was chosen to be her memorial race because it always clashed with the Ironman. So believe it or not, this is only the second one I've ever got to in all the time that it's been her memorial race. Wow. So I'm very happy to be here and happy to say something today. And it was just lucky I got back from Kona last night at about 8 o'clock, so I could keep it.
After winning a world championship bronze medal.
You did hear the bronze bit, not the not the winning bit. But yeah, it's a fabulous day out there. It's a great event, and it does take me back to 2015 when Bernie came to that race. It wasn't doing Ironman, wasn't something I talked her into doing. It was actually another friend of hers. But anyway, we trained up together, had a lot of fun training, and we got to Kona. She didn't have a good day. It took her 16 hours to finish. I think she walked the whole marathon, and she wasn't. She wasn't
faster than most people.
Well, she wasn't herself on that trip, and we didn't know at the time, but she was obviously suffering from the cancer that eventually took her life. But when I was out on the course, I was actually walking in a part of the course myself, and I was struggling a bit in the marathon, the early stages, and I thought to myself, if I have to walk the rest of this marathon, it's going to be in her memory, because I know she walked that whole marathon to finish in 16 hours. But she got there before the close off. And then, of course, as we know, 6 months later, she was diagnosed with cancer. So yeah, I could stand here and talk all day about Bernie, but I won't. So thanks all for coming.
Thank you, Michelle.
I guess the most important bit is handing out the tin, the trophies, and I think there's the Bernie Portenski trophy for all clubs to compete. We've got some Scottish trophies, and I think varsity might have been running some trophies.
Tommy to do the Vic Uni one first.
Okay, Tommy, do you want to present the Vic Uni trophy?
Hi everyone, thanks for inviting us, Vic Uni runners along. We always enjoy coming along to this event. We have our Endeavour Cup, which is given to the first Vic Uni team member across the line. And today, coming in 10th place overall, I think, it was Sean Ping. So well done.
Oh, this is the video, so later.
Have we got any results from the kids' races?
Oh, we do. So in addition to some early getaways by Georgie and Rowan, who were eventually caught, as well as Elliot and Sam, by the likes of JJ and Naomi. Eventually JJ persevered and won the Elizabeth Jenkins Trophy. So congratulations.
I think I'm the harshest handicapper here. It's generally understood. I always have it in my mind that this race is slightly quicker than your 10k, but actually the results always kind of bounce me around and show that they're not. I think I'm still harsher handicapper anyway, even though I've softened most of them this year a bit. Anyway, tough. I'm getting tough again next year. So Scottish. So yeah, I think we've got a male and a female. And now, I'm not going to let Howard win it. He chose his own handicap. That's not how it works. So even though we kind of had probably the largest number of runners, our highest place runner today was 16th, which shows how harsh we are. And I'm ashamed to say, because one of the things I pride myself in beating the burglars is that I got beaten by one of the burglars today. The burglars are those people who pop up every few years and win a handicap race. And there's about 5 or 6 of them in Scottish. And today I got burgled again by the wonderful Bev Hodge. So the ladies' trophy goes to Bev, and the male trophy just a handful of places behind, so he flew past me at rate knots, was Todd Stevens.
Beauty. Yeah, Todd was in 20th.
So, yeah, I'm harsh, aren't I? Harsh handicapper. I've got no idea what times there are. I'll work them out tonight and I'll put them on a spreadsheet and I'll flip them around at some point. Might be after a few beers or tomorrow morning after a few beers, we shall see. The Burnie Portenski trophy goes to the first person across the line who hasn't lied about their handicap or something. So it's chosen when they won. So we're down to about 17th position. No. So I'm going to go. Hadley was actually first across the line, but said, "Hey, I'm not competing." So that's a strange thing to be in a race, be first across the line, not competing. But that might be because he's soft. He did his own handicap and was quite soft on himself. So yeah, second across the line, and I'll go with it because he went with the time that he was given, and actually it was a cracking performance. And local up the road, and a triathlete sometimes. So Pete Ellis is the winner.
Hey, it's pretty appropriate that I won this because Bernie and I trained together for years. 6 o'clock every morning we'd be out training, and Michelle told you a little story, but she tells the good stories. You know, Bernie was a bit of a hard doer at times, and the story I like to tell about Bernie is we're doing 800 metre sprints around Marara Road in Paraparang, 6 o'clock in the morning, and Bernie, as is pretty normal, got to go to the toilet, Pete, got to stop and go to the toilet, you know. So she dives into someone's property, a driveway probably the length of this building, ducks in behind the tree, and I'm sort of just jogging around waiting for her outside. Next thing, up the driveway comes this guy to pick up his paper. And Bernie's sitting behind the fence, behind the tree, like a mouse. She comes up to me, she says, "Shit, Pete, I thought I was caught there." So no, that's just one of the many stories. And, you know, I love racing this because her and I just had such great times. And, you know, if anyone really wants to enjoy your running, find someone like Bernie who you can train with. You know, she had me doing 15 1K reps, you know, I mean, and then, you know,
At 3:30s.
Yeah, that's right, you're doing 3:30 pace, it's race all the time. Someone wrote her a program and actually had 3 10Ks with a 4-minute break between.
And she added a 4.
And that's why she was so good, I mean, and her and I used to joke and laugh, and I always told her, she was not really a great stylish runner. By God, when it come to guts, no one's ever going to beat her. So, yep. So I really, really appreciate this.
Apparently there's a fairly newish place around the corner where they've got a little brew bar, so I think we might go there. Does anyone remember what it's called? Ian, did you put it up on the beer engine? Is it open? Has anyone checked?